Hey guys, this is Rose. Yeah, I'll have like an announcement to make in the future, it might be a while, maybe like by the end of the summer. Until then, I can't say much about it, but yeah, I was talking about this shite the other day. Have they have the chemtrails and one shaped like an X, and you know, a while back when I made this video about it, and they listen to me, the powers that be. I don't know, whoever these people are, they do listen to what I say. The good guys and the bad guys listen to what I say, I think. And it was cool, I was walking down the street, and of course, I saw that X like I usually see, but then I went back outside the next day, or maybe like a week later, and I looked at the sky, and it was a pretty blue color, and the clouds were like this instead of those ugly clouds that they make. And so I do think, I don't know, God, the good forces of the universe, they know what's going on, They know that the bad guys are messing with the weather, making these ugly clouds, Because I remember when I was young, I mean, the clouds were really beautiful like this, They looked like big fluffy balls of cotton, You youngins, that's what they used to say down south. You youngins, you don't know anything about the beautiful clouds they used to have back in the day before they had all this chemtrail shite, The clouds were beautiful, So I don't know. God, the good forces of the universe, must have heard what I said, because like the second time I went outside, like the clouds were really beautiful, They weren't in these ugly shapes. Anyway, somebody asked me about satellites and shite. See if I can find the satellite shite. Find the satellite shite. Didn't I do a video about satellites? Yeah, I did. I did a video about satellites. It's around here somewhere. Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah, I did a video about satellites, right? Yeah, so there is this app that you can use, and it will show all the satellites that are going around you, You could use it in your apartment or your house. You don't even have to go outside, And it also gives like your GPS coordinates, And you can see some of the satellites that are over me. Like I see the Russian satellite GLONASS a lot. Emphasis on OS, Yeah, I see the satellite GLONASS a lot, like, I'll make it bigger. Yeah, I see the satellite GLONASS. But you could take the app and go around your apartment. There's a satellite. You can go around your apartment and like see what satellites are over your head, over your apartment. And you'd be shocked, how many satellites. Now, I do live in a big city. I live in New York City. So I guess you're going to have a lot of satellites, So I'll do it like out in a rural area, see how many satellites I pick up, But this is how many satellites I was picking up, the other day. Iridium. I always see the Russian satellite GLONASS all the time. GLONASS, emphasis on OS. No, I'm bad. You could also take the GPS coordinates from this app, right? And you could put it into Google and see where it routes to, okay? So we'll take a screenshot of that site. Can we get a screenshot? Take a screenshot. Did we get a screenshot of it? Yeah, we got a screenshot. Okay. And we could, just in case we lose our place or something. Okay. And we could, look up the GPS coordinates, you know. I did a screenshot of it just in case something weird happens. Maybe I lose my spot. So, here's a screenshot of it. So, it's 48368. Okay. 4.8368. Okay. 4.8368. 40.8368, right? Get rid of all this stuff I have on here. A lot of stuff on here. Get rid of it. 40.83. 40.8368. Did I remember it right? I've never been good at remembering numbers. Let's see. Okay. You remember back in the day before they had cell phones, you know, like you used to remember all kinds of numbers in your head, you know. You had numbers memorized. Now I can't even memorize numbers anymore because everything's in your cell phone now. Let's see, 40.8368. 40.8368, right? Okay. Okay, I got it right. Okay, just in case. Sometimes I get it wrong. It's late at night or very early in the morning. 73.9292. Okay, 73.9292. Okay. 73.9292. Okay. And then you could look up the GPS coordinates. Okay. All right. Remember a long time ago I used to do the GPS coordinates a lot? Look up the GPS coordinates from the app and then look at where you go to, you know. Look at where you go to. That's my GPS coordinates where I live in New York City. And then you can look at all the places you're routing to. That's wild, huh? See if we find stuff that's really wild. I see NASA, Seance. I wonder what Seance is. Seance. That's wild. University of Maine. Wow. Now there's some obvious ones that I see that I don't want to look up, you know, because they might be controversial. Wow. You can look at all the... Your GPS coordinates are routing you to places, okay? The Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center, Amazon Web Services, which is AWS, which is their data center, their data, whatever, however you say it, data. The State Bank of Pakistan, that's wild. So we're just going through it really fast. Okay. And then we'll pick one that we find interesting, right? Like, see it. Your GPS coordinates are routing you to places. Okay. You're being routed to places from your GPS coordinates. And I got the GPS coordinates off of that satellite app. Okay. See Caltech. Okay. Anyway, this thing goes on forever. Duke University? Yeah, that's a university down south. Okay. Routing to some place in Italy. That one's interesting. Wow. I think IT is Italy. It's the initials for Italy. Okay. So we're going to just like look at it. Yeah, it's Campania, Italy. Campania, Italy. I have no idea. Wow, the Vesuvius Observatory is the surveillance center for monitoring 3 volcanic areas of Campania, Italy. Okay, interesting. So let's look at this observatory place in Italy. Wow, that's wild. Look at that. That's interesting. Wow, okay. Now, and then and remember I told you could also go under like images and see what you find under images. You know, see what you find under images. This one's interesting. It's a place in France. I think FR is the initials for France, this abbreviation for France. Okay. Yeah, it's the abbreviation for France. Whatever. Oh, okay. Wow, this one's wild, right? This is wild. What is that? It must be like a freaking satellite, you know, like, wow. That shite is wild. Wow. It says Simbad. Wow. What is Simbad? It's hosted by the Strasbourg Astronomical Data. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Simbad. Okay. Well, we could cheat for a second, you know, because I don't feel like digging through it. We could just like look it up on ChatGPT. What is Simbad? It sounds like a satellite or a telescope or some kind of shit. Sorry, I cursed. Simbad. Simbad. What is Simbad? Wow. It's a database for astronomy. Wow. Wow. That's interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Just wanted to look to see what it was. Wow. Anyway, you guys know how to look up the companies, right? Once you figure out who it is. But that's interesting. That's an interesting site. Okay, and then you could also like, remember I told you you could take off like a number on each side, you know, and keep seeing where that's going to. That's interesting. The Packard Humanities Institute. Wow. I wonder if that's like Hewlett Packard. I don't know what that is. Packard Humanities Institute. It sounds like it's Russian, though. Yeah, it's someplace in Russia. No, it's California. Well, it looks like it's in Russian at the top. That's weird. Wow. It's a nonprofit place in Los Altos, California. Packard Humanities Institute. That's wild. It's in, what is it? Is it in Russian or Greek or, I don't know what language that is. Okay. That's interesting. National Institutes of Health. Wow. We could also like, you could also take some more numbers off. You just keep taking numbers off and see all the places that you're routing to from your GPS coordinates. Sometimes you see the best stuff when you're down to like the last few numbers, you know. That's when it will pull up a lot of stuff that you're routing to, you know. National Institutes of Health. Yeah, I see them all the time. Max Mind. Wow, Max Mind. Wow. Anyway, you get the idea. You can keep taking numbers off. And you could also reverse the GPS coordinates, you know, like you could reverse them. So let's go back to where we were, right? You could reverse the GPS coordinates. Go like this. Copy. Okay. Delete. Okay. And then, oh, what happened? I deleted it and it came back. Let's try it again. Okay. Oh, it keeps, that's just weird. It's not working with me today. It's giving me grief, right? Like, how about we do this? How about we take the first GPS coordinates in, since it's being difficult. Okay. We take the first GPS coordinates. But the first part. It is late at night. I'm like half asleep, so I hope I'm doing this right. And then you paste it, right? Okay. Copy and paste. Okay. You got a comma. Okay. And then see where you route to from there, right? You can reverse your GPS coordinates. Wow. Now when I reverse them, I'm going to all these places in New York City. Wow. I'm going to Harvard University. Wow. Argus Online. Wow. Caltech. MIT. Wow, there's MIT. Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Yeah, I saw myself going to a satellite from MIT called TESS. Like capital letters, TESS. Wow. I wonder what that is. Wow. Let's look at it. Do we have Adobe? I think we have Adobe on here. I think it's like a PDF. You gotta have a Adobe file. Wow. What is that? That's wild. I think it's like a satellite or a telescope or something. Wow. Okay. And then NASA. Yeah, see NASA all the time. eLife. Go to a lot of stuff in New York when I reverse the GPS coordinates. Wow. Robots for whales. That's interesting. I wonder what that's about. It looks like a university. .edu is usually a university. Let's see, I don't know, or some kind of educational facility. Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, Ocean Science Discovery Center. Wow. Wow, look at that. Oh, it's going to Rutgers University. Yeah, which is in New Jersey. Wow. That's interesting. See, it says EDU right there. That usually means a university. Okay. Wow. Then we could go under images. See where you go on to under images. I mean, it could take a while just to look this up. And then I looked up some of the satellites I was going to, you know, that I saw over my head. You could look up the satellites as well. I have it on here. I was doing it like a couple days ago. Sorry, I'm yawning. I'm really sleepy. Probably shouldn't be doing this when I'm sleepy. Hopefully I did it right, because I am like half asleep. So yeah, I was going to Flock 1. Okay. Well, let's go back. Where is it at? I was going to Flock 1. Let's see. Let's keep going. Yeah, I was looking up all of the satellites I was routing to. Like, I took screenshots of them. Okay. Yeah, I took screenshots of the satellites I was going to. Yeah, I always see the Russian satellite GLONASS all the time. And the Russian satellite GLONASS is really owned by the Russian government. You know, which is weird. I mean, because supposedly the United States is mortal enemies with Russia, but they have all of their satellites flying over us all the time. So that shite don't make sense. I'm just saying, don't make sense. So, yeah, Flock 1 I saw. Yeah, it's a CubeSat satellite. A CubeSat satellite. Okay. And it's run by Planet Labs. Okay. Planet Labs. Okay. And then Planet Labs, which is part of Flock 1C CubeSat satellites. Okay. Okay. Oh gosh, did it get stuck? Let's go back again. I think it got stuck. Oh, I hate when it gets stuck. Go back again. So, like, anyway, Planet Labs satellite, Flock 1 satellite, it's Flock 1. It's run by Planet Labs. And Planet Labs connects to Columbia University, Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory. Look at that. Yeah, and it says it has remote sensing and Earth observation. I mean, I can give you the rundown of every satellite and where it routes to. I mean, it just takes a while to look all the shite up, you know. Yeah, it takes a while to look all the shite up. Yeah, and then I found one GPS BIIR8 PRN16 navigation GPS United States. So some satellite in United States, right? I looked that up, and it was created by Lockheed Martin, you know. I don't know if Lockheed Martin runs it anymore, but it's a Lockheed Martin satellite, you know. Anyway, man, they get upset when I start talking about knowledge and all. They start like doing all kinds of crazy shit. But I told you to look up CubeSat satellites, right? Yeah, look up what CubeSat satellites are. Look up what nanosatellites are. And yeah. Anyway, I did a little research on it, you know, the other day, looking up satellite shite. Yeah, in the background, they're like having a fit. You know how they are. All I'm doing is talking, you know, about GPS coordinates, and they're having a fit. Oh, anyway, you guys have a good day or a good night.